Ladies and gentlemen, the day has finally come. This is going to be a mini course where you'll be live with me as we build out a landing page for an info product offer. So you can take this resource and go build out a landing page for your own info offer. If you're new to the channel, my name is Brilliance and we've used this same landing page system to help drive over $5 million in revenue for dozens of other info offers, coaching and consulting companies. Inside this video, you're not only going to be inside of my mind, but you're also going to be with me virtually in my computer as we build out the landing page for this info product offer. We're going to go through all the way from defining the offer, conducting research with AI, writing the copy, putting together the structure for the landing page, and all the way to me building the landing page that you can copy for your info offer. Very shortly, you're about to see why all of the biggest info products, coaches, consultants, and B2B businesses in the world come to work with us. And like I said, through landing pages just like the one we're about to build, we've helped generate over $5 million for 40 different businesses. This is going to be about an hour-long session of you hanging out with me as we craft the landing page for this info offer. Beyond that, let's get right into it. Get out your notepad, do whatever you gotta do, and let's start cooking. With that being said, let's dive into it. The first thing we're going to get started with is the copy, and hopefully this camera doesn't glitch at any point because I've had this happen a couple of times and it fucking sucks. But anyway, so the first thing is I've already added the file in here. So the file basically is the onboarding document. I can't, show you guys the onboarding document because this is for an actual offer that we built, right? But what I'm going to do is rebuild the entire thing, right? Using all of that information, show you guys the research process. And so it's already, if you use ChatGPT, you can create a project. And instead of projects, you can have, files, you can upload your files, you can, add instructions, tailor the way ChatGPT is going to respond in this particular project. And the first thing that I'm going to do is paste in these prompts. So bear in mind, the onboarding form, the form that we have here already has, it has all of the information about the ICP. It has all of the information about the offer. Let me put this closer so you guys can hear me. It has all of the information that we need, the pain points, the place we're driving traffic from, and all of that good stuff, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in this prompt and I'm going to walk you guys through these prompts. So first of all, I want you to research my ICP. And by the way, after we do this research, we're going to go in, we're going to start writing the copy. And after we're done, we're going to start, building out the actual landing page in Webflow. And it's going to be a simple, VSL landing page. It's not going to be anything, too robust, so that this video is not long, but this is just to get you in. This is an introduction to, funnel building and copywriting. So let's get it. So I want you to research my ICP, right? You can find details about him in the uploaded PDF in this project. I want you to act as the ICP. Search what he would search, read what he would read, and build the profile from real results that people are saying. Didn't know they're sharing it on stuff like YouTube or Reddit. So basically what we're trying to do is conduct research from YouTube. YouTube comments can be extremely resourceful. Reddit threads are massive in terms of research, right? Twitter is also useful, but overall, I and my team, what we do when we're conducting research is we use a lot of YouTube and Reddit. And by the way, just to make it very clear, I am not the copywriter for my team, right? I understand how to write copy, but I still have people on my team that I pay to do the copy just because, I'm not an, expert copywriter whatsoever. I do have an understanding of copy. I write my own copy, but at the end of the day, I prefer to pay my team because they're way more experienced at this stuff than I am. And what I'm doing is basically just passing down all of the lessons that I've learned from my team. And, over the past, 12, 13 months of generating $5 million for our clients, directly attributable revenue from these landing pages. I'm just passing down all of those lessons to you, right? So just keep that in mind. So basically, I want to know the shakeable notions, firm notions, comprehensive buyer persona, core beliefs and values. And this is something I talk about a lot, right? So a lot of people just dive into copy, they just start writing copy, but that's not how it works. If you actually want a landing page that is going to have the triggers that you want, have the emotional triggers that you want, so that you can get the responses, you get the actions that you want, you need to conduct research. Research is the bread and butter when it comes to copywriting. You cannot write a single line of copy without research. I've talked about this extensively. So you need to pay attention to the research because this is going to determine how well your page is going to convert, how well it's going to resonate with the audience. And hopefully I'm not being like too teachy in this video. I don't like that. Like I just want the natural pure vibe. I don't like this YouTube shit where it's like, oh, I need to, like, bro, like it kind of makes the videos unenjoyable for me. I just want to be able to make the videos and chill, So, and by the way, this is not just going to be a YouTube video. This is also going to be, this is going to be a mini course. That's the entirety of it. But anyways, enough yapping. So we're trying to understand the comprehensive buyer persona, core beliefs and values, core problems and emotional impact, desired outcomes, key drivers, limiting beliefs and inner dialogue, habitual patterns, desires, goals and dreams, thought chains, aspirational future, identity traits, and the core emotions of the market. So we're also going to ask for some quotes unedited in their language. So things that they're saying right now that we could leverage, because when you speak exactly, why would someone not listen to you when you've used exact words that they use, right? Does it make sense? If you've used the exact words that someone else has used, then it's going to make them trust you. Like, think about it, okay? Again, we're asking for the top three angles that we can follow to create a simple, high converting headline for this offer. And then give me insights as to why each angle would convert, because you need to spend 80, even if not 90% of your time, and I hope I don't feel too Imangadi in this video. But anyways, you need to think about the headline. Like, this is where you need to spend most of your time, because without this, if you put no effort into this, then nothing else matters. No one is going to watch a VSL. No one is going to, book a call with you. That's just the end of the story. By the way, let me see if this shit is still recording. So it's very important to understand this fundamentally before we even get into, building out the actual landing page and writing the copy, because without a good headline, then nothing else matters. So you should ideally spend 90% of your time just researching hooks, headlines, and your offer is going to perform significantly better, right? So give us insights as to why each angle will convert as well, and then give me the top 3 objections, pains, and desires that they have, and insights into each one, right? And I have this wonderful prompt from a guy that I found on Twitter. He has like really good prompts. I'm going to find that. Give me one sec. All right. Oh, okay. So it's recording right now, bro. So as you can see, it's generating all of this stuff now. Comprehensive buyer persona based on the provided PDF and additional research from platforms like Reddit, LinkedIn. Here's an in-depth profile of your ideal customer profile, enriched with all real user sentiments and behaviors. Comprehensive buyer persona: Alex, 33, former corporate professional turned coach consultant. Blah blah blah. Background: generate consistent leads via LinkedIn, build a personal brand, core beliefs and values. So their firm notions is quality over quantity and content, desire for authenticity in personal brand, and belief in the value of their expertise. You can see it's pulling sources from, it's pulling some insights from these articles online. Okay, so shakeable notion: skepticism about LinkedIn's effectiveness for their niche, believe that a large following is necessary for success, core problems and emotional impact, problem of fear of judgment when posting content, anxiety, procrastination and self-doubt, uncertainty about content strategy, emotional impact, overwhelm and inaction. You can see desired outcomes, extremely good information. Key drivers: desire for autonomy and control over income, limiting beliefs: I'm not good at sales, I don't have anything unique to share, what if no one engages with my content? You can see all of this stuff is pulling from LinkedIn. It's pulling from different places. Core emotions of the market: fear of failure and judgment, desire for recognition and success. So you can see a big one here that we're seeing is kind of fear of failure and judgment. They don't want people to see them. They don't want anyone to judge them, but they also want, they also want recognition, they want success, they want to make money. And then you can see our top 3 angles for high converting headlines. So transform your expertise into income: no ads, no overwhelm. Address the desire to monetize knowledge without the complexity of advertising. Overcome content creation anxiety. Step-by-step LinkedIn strategy: build your personal brand with confidence even if you're just starting out. Inside appeals to beginners seeking to establish authority without prior experience. Top 3 objections, pains, and desires: they don't show LinkedIn will work, I don't have any content or stories to share, I'm not good at sales. And then pain, fear of online visibility, desires consistent high quality leads without paying paid ads. Now, what does this tell us? Right, so the 3 main pains here are, fear of online visibility, which is judgment. We have overwhelm from content creation. We have, uncertainty in offer development and pricing. Okay. And then the desires, we have, consistent high quality leads without paid ads, confidence in sharing content and personal stories, a clear structured path to monetizing expertise. So with this, now we have some information, right? So let's think about the person who we're writing this for. Let's go to our comprehensive buyer persona. So let's say expert in a specific field. Who are we writing for? So very important to understand. Expert in setting. What did I just say? Desires to monetize online. So the challenges. Actually, forgive me, guys. I need to take typing classes. I mean, I'm pretty fast. Now let's go through this a bit more. Right. So the fear of online visibility is a huge one with this judgment. Overwhelm from content creation processes is another one. They don't know how they're going to get started. They don't know how they're going to continue creating content. And then uncertainty in offer development and pricing. Right? So consistent high quality leads without paid ads. Confidence in sharing content and personal stories. A clear structured path to monetizing expertise. So let's do this one as well. Yeah, this is basically the same thing. So based on this, now that we have, let's go back here. Let's see our buyer persona. Someone who's corporate, turned coach consultant. So we're going to get started with the headline, right? So let's think about this. So how to build if we say if we say something like, 6-figure business, then it's going to be like we're promising a 6-figure business, but in reality that's not what we want to promise. Right? We want to promise something like an outcome that is going to be realistic and also is not going to overpromise. So number one, we don't give people wrong expectations. We attract the right people, and also we don't get sued by the FTC or don't get hit by so that the offer doesn't become an FTC liability basically. So let's see how to build a profitable business with your expertise. How to build a profitable business with your expertise. Let's actually increase this. Let's bring this to the center. Okay. So, how to build a profitable business with your expertise. How to build how to build a high ticket offer. Authentic personal brand, and how to build a high ticket offer, authentic personal brand, and live life on your own. Live life on your own terms is going to be too vague. So let's say how to use LinkedIn to build instant credibility, create a profitable business, and what else do they need? Let's look at this. So let's see. Transform your expertise into income. Build a personal brand with confidence. Let's see. Core emotions, thoughts, social. So confident. So be a thought leader. So we could even say something like, how to become a thought leader. Actually, this can create a profitable business and generate 6 to 8 leads per week. Something like that. Or we could even say, okay, here's another example of a headline that we could use. How to use LinkedIn to build to how to become a thought leader become a thought leader. Discover how to become a thought leader. LinkedIn, create a high ticket offer, and generate 6 to 8 leads per week. So this is the second option. So we have a third option, right? Discover the LinkedIn, let's say the LinkedIn system. Discover the, let's see, flywheel. Flywheel is used too much. Let's just use something. Let's say discover the LinkedIn system. Discover the LinkedIn system that has helped hundreds of let's look at the buyer persona again. Let's see. So help hundreds of professionals grow 6-figure businesses. Grow 6-figure businesses and build All right, guys, really quick, and then we're going to get right back into building out this awesome landing page. I know that there are a few of you right now watching this video trying to build a new landing page for your info offer, and you're thinking to yourself, this looks really complicated. I see him doing it, but this seems so hard for me to do, and it's going to take up a lot of time for me to be able to do this. If that's you, then I have an offer for you. You can work with my team, and we're going to build out a high converting landing page for your info offer, just like this one, if not even better. Completely done for you within 14 days. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in or something you want done, click the link in the description of this video, book a call with someone on my team, and I'll see you there. Instant credibility. So this is just throwing a bunch of random ideas out there. Okay. So discover the LinkedIn system that has helped hundreds of professionals build profitable businesses and build instant credibility, right? Because people want that credibility. They also want to, make money from their skill, which is profitable business. So let's see how to use LinkedIn. Let's try another one. So how to use LinkedIn to stack your calendar, build instant credibility. How to use LinkedIn to stack your calendar, build instant credibility, and create a high ticket offer. So let's just stack your calendar with meetings, build instant credibility, and create a high ticket offer. So we have, okay, so let's try another one. So how to use LinkedIn to stack your calendar with meetings. How to use LinkedIn to generate 6 to 8 leads per week. 6 to 8 qualified leads per week. Build instant credibility, and build a profitable business, and build a profitable business and instant credibility. I don't like the way this instant credibility just sounds kind of doesn't sound connected, right? How to use LinkedIn, let's say, to build instant credibility, generate 6 to 8 qualified leads per week, and build a profitable business. So we have pretty good, headlines here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start creating, because we have to think about these people, right? They're not sure if LinkedIn is going to work for them. So we're telling them, hey, this is going to, work for you. You generate 6 to 8 qualified leads. You're going to build a profitable business and build a profitable business from scratch. Something like that. Even if you've never tried, something like that, and then we're going to the sub headline. Let's reduce this. So without having to fear of judgment, so without having to make videos. What are some of the problems? Let's see. So without having to make videos, post 10 times a day, something like that, or let's see. Skepticism, core problems, fear of judgment while posting content, uncertainty, lack of a clear sellable offer. So let's see. So without having to make videos, spend money on ads, or even have an offer. Let's see. So they want to be an authority without becoming an authority. Let's see. Or without having to spend money on ads, or become authority. Let's try another one. Without having to make videos, spend money on ads, or have a big following. So let's see another one. Let's say without having to know, without needing a big following, without needing a big following, or having to spend money on ads. So let's say without having to make videos or have a big following. So I'm not good at sales. I don't have anything unique to share. Even if you don't have a unique story to share. Let's see. Even if you've never tried before. Without having a So I'm trying to find one to fit in with this. So what if no one engages? So I don't have any unique to share. Without having to let's see. I mean, I think at this point, we have, without having to make videos, spend money on ads, or become an authority, without having to make videos, spend money on ads, or have a big following, without needing a big following, without a big following, or having to spend money on ads, without having to make videos, or, without having to make videos, or have a big following. Without having to make videos or have a big following. So, and then the other thing that I want us to do here is we need to craft the eyebrow offer. So let's look at some of the problems again. So have valuable knowledge. Struggling to grow on LinkedIn. Let's see. Struggling to generate leads through LinkedIn. LinkedIn, this could be one. Let's increase this to like 14. Let's enter this. Struggling to generate leads through LinkedIn. Let's look at another one. Attention. Professionals looking to grow on LinkedIn. Let's say skilled professionals looking to grow on LinkedIn, because we know that these people are professionals. So let's even look at this. This is going to have, some. So I need a big audience. Okay, so this is handled without having to have a big audience. That's without have a big audience. All right. So I have to post daily to get traction without having to post LinkedIn social resume. They know they're good at what they do. They believe social proof matters. They trust they're selling online. Okay. Core beliefs: if I put myself out there, it better look good. I'd rather post anything. I'll post something cringe. Okay, so I don't know what to post. I don't know what So let's see. So let's see. So attention, skilled professionals looking to grow on LinkedIn. That's a good one. struggling to. We could also use, social proof based ones. So let's say something like, attention. This has generated over, let's say $16 million on LinkedIn. This is responsible for over 16 million in revenue directly through LinkedIn. So this kind of breaks the belief that they have immediately breaks they're responsible for over $16 million in direct attributable and direct revenue from LinkedIn. Okay, so let's say want to become a thought leader and want to become a thought leader and generate leads from LinkedIn. Want to become a thought leader and generate leads through LinkedIn. Struggling to get leads, struggling to hit revenue goals due to no leads. No, that one is shit. Let's see. So they want to be a thought leader. They want to be someone who makes content, make a high respect and fear of judgment, envy. So let's see. So don't know how to turn your knowledge into clients. Struggling to turn your knowledge into dollars, something like that. Turn your expertise into revenue. Something like that will hit. It will hit. Struggling to you a professional. Attention. Professionals struggling to turn their expertise into revenue. So I think we have pretty solid ones here. Very solid ones here. So if we think about, who we're writing for, they're struggling to generate leads on LinkedIn. They're not making the money that they want. They're a skilled professional. They don't know if LinkedIn works, which this kind of handles immediately. We're telling them, hey, you can build, instant credibility on LinkedIn. You can create a profitable business and you can, generate 6 to 8 leads per week. You can become a thought leader. You can create a high ticket offer. You can generate leads per week. This system, has helped hundreds of busy professionals, build profitable business and build instant credibility with only, let's say, 2 hours per week. Yeah, I think that one slaps. How to use LinkedIn to stack your calendar with meetings, build instant credibility, and create a high-ticket offer. How to use LinkedIn to build instant credibility to generate 6 to 8 qualified leads per week and build a profitable business if you've never tried before. Without having to make videos, spend money on ads, or become an authority. Without having to make videos, spend money on ads, or have a big following. Without having to spend money on ads, have a big following. Without having to make videos, I have a big audience. So those are, angles that we could go with. So right now we're going to go in. So the next thing that we're just going to add in, placeholder here for VSL. And we're just going to underline that, make that green. Actually, what we're looking for is this one. All right, so VSL, let's actually make that bigger. Okay. And then CTA is going to be apply to join now. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. So let's do that as well. Apply to join now. And then let's have like some quick benefits. Some quick benefits here are going to be, let's say, let's see, requires 2 hours a week, no following needed. What else is there? Let's see. So let's go here. What if I get 0 likes? What if no, it requires 2 hours a week. Only 2 hours a week needed. Only 2 hours a week. And the other one that I saw here was so let's see, generate 6 to 8 leads in 8 weeks. Only 2 hours a week. No following needed. Generate 6 to 8 leads in 8 weeks. Let's see. No following needed. Generate 6 to 8 leads with a high ticket offer or something like that. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Zero. No, we want to say 0 startup cost. Let's say only 2 hours a week. No following needed. Generate 6 to 8 leads in 8 weeks. I think these are pretty solid. We can always come back and change. And then after that, usually we need, social proof and stuff and testimonials. So let's social proof and testimonials. So we're going to now, the rest of the video is really going to be, I hope I spelled out well, but the rest of the video now is going to be us building out this thing right here. So let's duplicate this. And I'm going to pause and come back. All right, successfully duplicated. So we'll go ahead and start. Let's first of all, let's do this. Let's see, LinkedIn blueprint, something like that. And let's save. Let's go to publishing. LinkedIn. LinkedIn blueprint, stuff like that. Cool. Now, let's go in. Now, given that this is going to be, this is going to be a kind of high ticket course in a way, maybe low ticket course, I would say. So we have some basic stuff here. For this one, we're just going to go with, and I hope this is recording. If this isn't recording, bro, let's see. Yeah, it's recording, so let's keep going. I'm probably just going to make myself just a little bit smaller here, because now we're dealing with Webflow, and Webflow is different. I don't even know how best I can position this. Is this the best? This is probably the best. Anyways, let's keep it going. Baby could get cool, cause this shit could get ugly. Remember I was there broke, now I got money. So we have our nav container here, and I'm going to actually This is very simple. This is a, so this nav container is simply just a flex box. And actually I can just delete this and kind of show you guys everything from scratch. Because everything is from scratch, okay? 1,000 pixels. So I'm just gonna delete that and go here. I'm going to go find nav container. We're going to delete that one. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Let's see flex, horizontal flex. We're going to call this nav container, and it's going to be aligned to the center. All right. And then we're going to have another one. So if you want to actually understand how to use Webflow, then you better go buy my course on Webflow. So I have a course, not necessarily a course on Webflow, it's a course on building landing pages. So you definitely should go check that out. I'll probably put the link in the description or something. I don't know, I have no idea about. Let's keep going. So let's put in a hreflex here. This is going to be called the actual nav. Now for this nav, what I'm going to do is, because our actual container has like a maximum width of 1,000 pixels, so I'm still going to use a maximum width of 1,000 pixels, right? You don't want it to exceed 1,000 pixels because then it looks weird. Okay, so we have nav here. The next thing we're going to do is add in a link block. And after the link block, we're going to add in, we don't have an image, we're not going to use a logo for this. So we're just going to add in a text block. And this text block, we're just going to call this LinkedIn blueprint, okay. Okay, let's see. So this nav is going to be a horizontal flex. It's going to be aligned space between. First thing we're going to do is now do the space in here. So we're going to say maybe it's a 16. On all sides, we could probably even do 24. Okay. So we have 24 right there. Now let's go to the typography. And first of all, let's make this white. Okay. Let's see, what text do we use? So like most of this text here that I haven't used in like a very long time that I'm probably going to abuse right now. So let's see. 16. So LinkedIn blueprint. We're actually going to speed through this. How many minutes? So we're like 42 minutes and I want to be done before the 60-minute mark. I definitely think we have potential to do that. So let's rock and roll, friends. Sorry, my voice is starting to crack. That's what happens. That's what happens, guys. So let's change this to 1.24. The line height. The reason I did that is so that all of the text that we're going to add, you know, after all of this stuff is going to be, the line height is going to be cool. But it's not going to look weird. So you can see here, this has adopted the line height for the body, which is good. This is exactly what we want, okay? Now, the next thing that we want for this link block, we're going to change this to, oh, no. It's supposed to be logo link, and let's make it 20. Let's make the typography, let's make it capitalized. I don't even know why I still have that on the line there, but it looks weird. Whenever I get to Webflow section in this course, it's like my voice just gets, I don't even know, just gets deep. Like something is about to happen. But anyways, we keep building. So let's use 400. I think 400 is cool. Now, the next thing we're going to add in another div block. This is going to be called the button. Instead of the button, we're going to have text. Okay. And one thing to keep in mind is this layout has to be to the center. So it has to be aligned to the center. And space between, like I said. Why is there no space between? Let's see size. 100%, yeah, 100%. All right, so let's give some space into this. Let's start from 16. And for the backgrounds, let's do something like, you know, let's do something like this. Text, see, no, black text isn't really going to be the best. Let's see, white. And let's change the font to something. So if you know me, you probably know my favorite font, but for this one, we're going to change it. So you see, yes, say yes, I want. Yes, I want access. Okay, let's go to UI icons. Yes, I want access to the blueprint. Something of that nature. All right, so let's grab some icon here. Say arrow. So there's this icon that I really love, and it looks like an arrow, but it's not really an arrow. It's like a navigation icon kind of stuff. Again, what we want to do here is, bro, to be honest, I don't like this general sans stuff. So probably going to go with something like this and make it capitalized. Also here, I'm going to change up the spacing. We're going to make this 24. 24, and then let's add in a little bit of a border radius there. That's too much. Yeah, that's good. Sorry, guys. Just add this in. And let's do the size and let's make it 16. Nope. 16 is way too small. Okay. So align that to the center. Then let's add in some space and let's say 8 pixels, let's say 12 pixels. And guys, if you pay attention here, there's something I'm doing which is called using I don't know if it's called the 8 pixels method or something like that, but basically we're using any number that can be divisible by 8. So 8, 16, 24, and so on and so forth, 32. And also, any number that can be, we can add in, any number that can be divisible, any number that can be used to divide 8, basically. Not all of them, but sometimes I just I don't like to be extremely strict on it, but 8, 16, 24, and also I can add in 4 sometimes. I can add in, I don't really add in 6. I can add in 2, but I don't really do. But I hope that makes sense to you guys. So yes, I want access to the blueprint. Good. Now, let's leave this as is. We're going to come back to it. What we're going to do right now is we're going to add in a section. Okay. So this section, we're just going to give it a class of section. And this section is pre-styled. It's 80 pixels to the top in terms of pattern, to the top and bottom, and then 40 pixels to the left and right. Okay. Then we have the container. And then in this container, we're going to add in a heading. This is the most important part of your thing, of whatever you're building, right? Let's take out the margin on the top and bottom. And people think building a webflow can be, difficult, but building a webflow is not. It's not that difficult. So let's take this first one. Let's plug that in here. And let's make this white. Okay. Let's make this white for now. Now let's change up the font. Not this, obviously. This looks good. I haven't used this font. Yeah, so let's see. 48. This heading. Okay. Let's change this to 1.24. 1.24. Let's add in a utility class of center. And by the way, if you need a template, if you need a template to build out your workflow pages fast, we have templates. So I would have used a template for this one, but I just wanted to show you guys. But we have templates that are going to help you build this stuff like in minutes, literally, even in seconds. You just update it, boom, 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 you're done. And that's it. So I like this font. I'm just going to go ahead and add in a paragraph. In this paragraph, top margin 16. So we're going to choose a font. I've been using Inter of lately. I'm not sure if I want to use Inter, but I'm definitely going to use a good font. Okay, so let's see this. Let's see how that works. Let's see, white. And let's center this as well. Let's center that. And this is 16. I think we'll probably need 20 here because that just looks like, you know, probably gonna be blind reading that shit without having a big following or having to spend money on ads. Let's use that. Okay, so I think that looks pretty decent for like a first draft. We still obviously have, you know, things to do. For this one, for the background, I'm probably going to just go just a little bit darker, just because I want it saucy. I want it looking good. So yeah, I love that. I actually do love that. Okay, I love the way that looks. Now for the nav here, what I'm going to do, like a simple thing that I'm going to do right now, is add in some spacing to like 8 pixels, and you're going to see what we're going to do with this shit right here. So let's add in a border. The border is going to be 16 pixels. Let's see, maybe something like this. And this logo link right here, this needs to be something good. Right now it looks kind of basic. Doesn't really stand out. There's nothing that stands out about it. Let's see. Okay. So LinkedIn blueprints, I don't think it's bad. Like we don't have a logo, so it's not like I'm not gonna, you know, like there's really nothing we can do about that because we don't have a logo. So we're going to do how to use link. I think this looks fire though. I think this looks fire, bro. By the way, I hope my reactions are all on camera. Okay, it is. Cool. So, I think this is good. So, let's remove this. Now, there's something else we're going to add, which is going to be click the video below to learn how. Then we'll add an emoji. For some reason, Webflow won't let you, you know, put all these emojis. But I'm going to grab VSL from, probably just going to grab, you know, one of my VSLs and add them onto this page. So let me just start. All right, so I just grabbed one of my VSLs with my handsome face, as you guys can see. And I'm just going to break down this. I'm just going to break this, even though like has nothing to do with the offer whatsoever. But anyways, you can see here we have a VSL wrapper. This has a margin of 32, and this is just a div block, a simple div block. This is the video itself, so you can get a video by doing video. In Webflow, you can find a video, right? And then we have the VSL clipper, and this clipper is simply just a wrapper for the VSL, because videos, you cannot directly affect the styling in Webflow. Right? So what you have to do is you have to use a clipper. And basically this clipper, as you can see, like there's literally no styling on this, but we can kind of imitate some style or create some style by having a clipper around it, which is going to be a div block. And then this div block is going to have an overflow. I can't speak. Overflow of hidden, and the border is going to be 12. So if I change this to like 50, you see what happens, all right? That would never happen on the video, okay? So that's just kind of a trick for you to get a VSL with a bit of style in terms of how it looks on the UI. So we have a beautiful VSL there. Now the next thing we're going to do right here is we're going to want to add the CTA again. So let's take the CTA and we just pasted that in. We're just going to say top margin 32 just to keep that clean. See, yes, I want access to the blueprint. Of course you want access to the blueprint, motherfucker. Of course you do. So, let's do the next thing. Bro, I hope I'm not ranting. Anyways, let's add this. 16. Now what we're going to do with this one is simple. Okay, we just want to have those benefits. Let's look at this. Let's not have those benefits. So apply to join now. Okay, let's just use apply to join now. That's what the copy says, so let's use that. Apply to join now. So here we're going to have a flex, a horizontal flex. Inside we're going to have a code embed. Then we're going to find a simple check, and this check is going to be a rounded check, exactly what we're looking for. Right, I keep opening this, but I'm going to just close that up. Anyway, so we have that, and then we're going to give it a class of icon. Going to do 16. 16 looks good. And we're probably just going to give it a color, a lighter version of this, to make it stand out a little bit. 24, 20, 20, and let's give it a color of this, but then let's make it lighter. Okay. Let's make it lighter. Let's make it look G. And instead of here, so let's add in a paragraph. And the paragraph, a holy paragraph, is going to be this. And bro, I need to close all of this stuff. Okay. Close all of this. So only need 2 hours a week. Generate 6 to 8 leads, and yeah, I think our copy is solid. Okay. So only need 2 hours a week, and then something that we're going to do here is give this icon a minimum width and minimum height of 20 pixels, just so that way it doesn't shrink. Because if we add like a bunch of text in here, that's not going to work well. Anyways, the point is, if you have like a bunch of text, it just makes it shrinks the icon, so you don't want that. Let's put this to the center. So I hope, I know definitely this has been, like, if you say this has been valuable, then I don't know what to tell you about. Anyways. So let's wrap this in the div block, and the div block is going to have a spacing of like 2. And let's take this background, let's put it there, but let's make it lighter. And now let's give it 50. So this is how you create like really subtle things that are going to really separate the landing page from others. Because a lot of people do not pay attention to this type of shit, right? Guaranteed. See? So we have that there. It's looking good. It's looking good. Now we just need to duplicate that three times, and let's add some more spacing right here. And now, no following needed. Generate 6 to 8 leads. Generate qualified leads in 8 weeks. 6 to 8 qualified leads. That might be too long, but we'll see. Okay, like I said, it's a bit too long, just a tiny bit long. So what we're going to do is make this a smaller font by adding the I hope my voice isn't too low, by adding the small class there. Okay, now let's add it to each of them. So you can see we still have that problem, but let's reduce spacing. Let's take it back to 0. Okay, 0 doesn't solve the problem. So what can we do to solve the problem? What can we do to solve this problem? Generate 6 to 8 qualified leads. I don't know if that's the best, to be honest. I don't know if that's the best. But anyways, I just want to make sure that looks good first of all. Let's make this like 24. So you can see we have a pretty decent looking, VSL page right here. Now let's try to see. Let's see what we can do with the. I mean, I like this. It's been a long time since I used it, bro. This is just smacks, bro. That absolutely smacks. I'm also going to reduce the color of this just so it doesn't interfere with this one. So how to use LinkedIn to create a profitable business. So let's highlight this in a way. Okay, so let's highlight this headline. Let's see what happens. What's our runtime here? Our runtime is an hour, so 60 minutes, and that means we're very close to being done. So we don't have any social proof for this offer. We're not going to be adding any social proof, unfortunately. But let us let's see. Nope. We want black. Okay. And then we want this color. But then the trick here is clip into text. Okay, so that looks horrible. Okay. So let's change this to white. Let's change this to white, and then this. So I don't like headlines that look like this, to be very completely honest. So what I'm going to do instead, let's remove this right here. And there's a style of headline that I haven't used in a while. I think I want to use it for this one. So let's do background. Let's give it that color. Yeah, I think we're on this one. Yeah, bro, I think this looks perfect the way it is. I do think this looks perfect. I think this looks perfect. I don't think I'm even going to touch anything anymore. Like, it just felt like you met your wife or something like that. Like, you just know something is perfect. You just know, like, you can just tell. I know I'm not going to use fragment. I'm not going to use this because I've used the shit out of those fonts. Well, anyways, it is what it is. So here we have our simple thing. And one last thing that we could do is, because this is going to be the hero, we don't want, we want them to read this as easy as possible. And one more thing, we haven't even added our eyebrow text. So let's add that in. So instead eyebrow, let's add in the text. And let's see, struggling to generate leads from LinkedIn. Let's use that. And by the way, let's just move that up. Let's say eyebrow. So let's give it some spacing, some nice spacing right there. And let's move this back just a little bit, okay? And then the tags for the actual typography, let's change this to like maybe fragment mono. No, that doesn't look good. Sora does not look good as well. Let's try new material. Now, how do we actually structure this? All right, so let's go to Dark Design. Let's find some inspiration. I know y'all are going to cook me for this. So let's look at some of the, okay, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. I just saw something right there, just popped in my head. I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put this as this. And then the background, I'm just going to do something simple. We have that. The border, I'm going to do 50. Struggling to generate leads through LinkedIn. Then let's click on the center. Let's add in some top, margin 16. So struggling to generate leads from LinkedIn. And let's add in some more space in here, make it 24. Okay. Then what we need to fix now is kind of the font. Let's fix the font. Struggling to generate these with LinkedIn. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? think that needs to be a bit more. Now the next thing for this text and specific, let's copy this color. Let's go to this text. Let's do the image gradient, this black to this, boom. Then it's going to be to the right. Let's set this to 90 degrees and clip the background to text. Okay, so you can see how I'm always ignorant about the white stuff. So, okay, struggling to generate these from LinkedIn. So you can see how it looks. That looks much better. Now for the border, probably just going to do something really, really, really light. Something like this. So, in my opinion, that looks incredible. That looks incredible. How to use LinkedIn to build instant credibility, create a profitable business, and generate 6 to 8 leads per week without having the big following or have to spend money on ads. Click the video below to learn how, right? And you watch my video and you apply to do whatever. Now, if you got value from this video, if it's on YouTube, make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe, whatever. And let me know your feedback on this video. We have about an hour of runtime here, which is pretty solid, I would say, for a mini course. But yeah, I hope you guys got the most amount of value from this, because that's the entire goal of making this video. And also, you guys, if you need a template, you definitely need a template, right? So a template like this, you need a template that's going to be, super easy for you to use. You need to go buy a template. Actually, I might put this out as a template. All right, you guys just gave me an idea. I might put this out as a template. Who knows? But basically, let's change this to icon wrapper as well. And let's turn it down just a bit and bring it up. Yeah. So if you need a funnel, book a call. If you need the course is going to be out sometime soon. I'm not sure when, but we're working on that. We're like 90% done. Whatever you need, I have a Warp community, Signal OS. Y'all go join that, because we're going to be, putting out a lot more of this kind of material. It's going to be extremely valuable for you guys. But again, yeah, I just want to make sure that this is as valuable as possible for you guys. And hopefully we'll have more of this coming. As you know, it takes a lot of effort. And, as long as you guys get value from it, I'm more than happy to do that all the time. So I hope you guys got value from this. Like, subscribe. Cheers. I love you guys. Take care. Peace.